Hey, FuneraLady, back for a little chat. I'm gonna get a little woo-woo. I'm gonna get a little mushy. I just listened to the funeral director that helped plan, direct, and carry out the Queen's funeral, and I'm feeling a lot of things. And I wanted to share with you guys that I think you can all agree that when people try to talk about how special the funeral industry is, which I hope people are talking about that more than they probably are, common words you normally hear are like compassion, service. I want to also highlight humanity and adaptation. The humanity that is needed to provide the service that we provide is the touchstone of this industry. From hearing the raw, vulnerable, honest, and organic feelings that this funeral director, Tim Purves, had with the Queen's funeral, it was all the elements that we all feel with every funeral that we have. It's the same element that called us to this service. It's the same element that makes us want to provide, makes us want to adapt. And the other touchstone adaptation of our service is kind of a clue as to why funeral directors are what they are historically. There was like an old stereotype that funeral directors are kind of stoic, kind of, morbid. What really was happening generationally was that society wanted this dignified, reverent guidance, and they didn't need to constantly be educated on what they wanted because there wasn't the internet, there wasn't communication. These funeral directors, when they were not working, were massive parts of the community. Communities were a lot tighter. People actually saw each other and talked and helped each other when cars would break down, when fires would happen. There was a complete conveyance of communication, and that allowed the funeral directors to adapt to what society wanted, which was this quiet, stoic dignity. Now, the reason that the funeral industry is changing and adapting and helping people have more personalized and open-minded services, I think is because we're awakening from a period where we as a society didn't understand why people were expecting funeral directors to be these morbid, stoic guides of funeral service, and instead, started being awakening, researching, smart, communicative consumers, organizations trying to help, regulate and make sure that things are above board, that things are transparent. I think the only thing that it took away was that open communication and constant actual interaction with funeral directors. You knew your funeral director. Some families knew for 3 generations. They knew 3 generations of this funeral family. That was the touchstone of what we did. And now we're adapting to the needs of what society needs. And the full circle moment I want to have this platform do is to educate you guys so that you can help us further adapt, and to share with you a little bit of the magic and the beauty and the humanity of what we do. There is a tech company, kind of tech company, an answering service company that handles the majority, every funeral home I know, and I know a lot of funeral directors. We all use this company. We rely on this company. When my great-grandfather had a heart attack and woke up in the hospital, first words out of his mouth were, "Who's minding the phones?" Because someone had to physically be by the phone 24/7. That is another touchstone of our industry. So for this company to have tech problem, a virus attack, and be shut down by something that honestly and scarily could happen to any of us, my heart went out. The minute I found out about it, my heart went directly to the people in this company. And I was immediately outpouring compassion, checking Facebook to make sure nobody had anything bad to say. And when I got to the floor, I made sure that I stopped by the booth to just give them a hug. And what I found out was that they are overwhelmed with outpouring of support and compassion and love from this huge industry that they serve, that in turn gets to serve them back. There's so much humanity, there's so much beauty, there's so much magic in helping people through very difficult times, in supporting people that help people through these difficult times, because death is the ultimate leveler, as Tim Purves said today, which I think is beautiful. We are all people, whether royal, whether funeral directors, whether anybody. We all grieve, we all love, and we all have shared humanity. So let's keep adapting, let's keep communicating, and I'm the FuneraLady. I will be back.